Alright, so what's up, guys? This is welcome to the ItsOnlyMarcus podcast. It's the first podcast, should say. Bit nervous, first time ever doing this by myself. I think I should give an intro to who I am and what I do. As you can tell, my name is Marcus. For those who know me, for those who know me, you probably will call me GA or just Giwa. But either way, it's nice to see that you've chosen to pick this podcast to listen to your for a bit at least. Who I am, who am I? Basically, I am a lead writer for the New Africa Comics comic book company. Yeah, it's hard to say, tongue twister. But yeah, I am the lead writer for the comic Shango. I've written all of the issues up to date. I don't know when this will be coming out. Hopefully before the end of the year. But either way, I've written the comic book, and going about that in the first place is really strange because at first I didn't ever see myself making a comic book or something like that. I went to university to study engineering, which is crazy to think about. I dropped out, funny enough, and I got a job in IT instead, which is crazy. It's insane. It's the same where life leads you, to be honest. But in the end, down the line, I met a very close friend now, Mr. Sankara, and he brought me onto this idea of making a comic book, and I was like, yeah, sure. It's like I've got ideas, and then it dawned on me I met someone when I went back from uni. Told him that I was working on a comic book, and he was like, "Oh, you're a creative." I was like, at this time, I didn't know what a creative was, so like hearing that, I was like, "Huh, it's crazy. What's a creative?" He's like, and he explained it to me. He's like, "Oh, someone who chooses, like, he rather make something instead of being like someone that works for somebody else, someone that's a more of a corporate person." And that then it dawned on me. It's like, yeah, that is who I am. I never really liked like suits or working in a corporate business. It always irritated me. It didn't sit well with me. I didn't like it. And having the opportunity to make a comic book, always like to make something, I always take that at full force. I always go over that head charging. Looking back on it, I've always been a creative. Like I was even trying to look up my old YouTube channel, which has been deleted, fortunately, so none of you can see a cringe post or or what I sounded like. What was it, 2014? That's what, 6 years ago. Damn. So I've always been creative, which is crazy to think about. Yeah. But this year I've always thought I've wanted to make a podcast. Opportunities have come to make podcasts with people. Some have fallen through, some have come out, and being a creative has always made me wanted like to have my content out there, I think. So with some things not being able to come to fruition, I've thought, hey, let me do it myself. Let me do a solo podcast myself, something I can, look back on and say, yeah, I created something else. Or I don't know, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. I feel like sometimes it's good just to sit down and talk to yourself, like have a little reflection, especially with this year. 2020 has been crazy. There was supposed to be a lot of movements happening for me, to be honest. I was supposed to be going to Mexico. It was supposed to be a whole movie, this whole 2020, literally a movie, but I didn't say which genre I wanted, Turned out to be a complete horror story, to be honest. We've lost a lot of people, a lot of great inspiration, especially to me. We lost Kobe, we lost Chadwick Boseman. It hurts because when I heard that Chadwick Boseman had passed away, it actually broke me, because I actually remember going to see Black Panther for the first time in the movies, and I went to see it with someone, and then I didn't pay attention to the person next to me. It was just me in the movie. It filled me with so much inspiration, and at that time I had started writing Shango, so seeing that filled me. Seeing another black person on the big movie screen as a lead role in something where culture of Africa is like, or a culture is of black people is the focus, had always had sparked something in me and made me wanting to do something. So like I fell through with it. I was like, yeah, this is it. Really put a fire underneath me, and I thought, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is something I have to get my stories out there, by fire, by force, you know. But this podcast, I just don't know. I just feel like I wanted something out there. Like, I can't, if I don't put this out there, it's just going to be another thing that I'm going to regret, and I don't like that. It won't sit well with me. So, hey, how you guys doing? a bit late to say hello. I mean, I guess I said hello already. But yeah, 2020 has been a crazy year. With Shango, the idea of like my whole 2020 idea was supposed to be like, yeah, every month I will have a story written out, and it's been 12 months. I've done I've written 5 chapters, and that's no fault of my own. That's no fault of anyone else's. It's just, I feel like when you get into that rhythm, you will get into that rhythm and just burn through, and your creative juices will be flowing. But when you hit a mental block, the mental block can stay very hard. It hits hard, and hits like it can hit, for me, I don't know, personally, it stays like for it could be a couple of days or a couple of hours, and I'll be back into it. But at times I just feel burnt out, and I feel like sometimes it is good to take a break from whatever you're doing, even if it's just working out, reading, like relax. Sometimes it's just good to relax. I've learned that this year. It's not always about work, pushing me out. I haven't worked this year thanks to COVID. Thank you very much. Great. It's been crazy with COVID, to be honest. Like, I spent at least 3 months actually working this year, which is, I do not like not working. It takes like a rhythm out of my day and my shred, you know. But you find other things to replace that. That's what I feel like this lockdown can, like, you have the opportunity to make something of this lockdown. You could either better yourself, either by physically, mentally, or even like learning something new. Like how I'm doing this podcast, it's a bit weird. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've done a lot with this year, and I feel like there's still more I can do. But knowing that I need to take breaks and pace myself, I think I can stretch my next year a lot better and have a lot more to offer and a better quality, you know. Like being a creative again, it's like seeing your work out there. Like, I see Shango 1, the first pilot issue, and I see it and I'm like, man, there's so many flaws. I hate it. And I don't hate it, but this can be better. And with every issue that I've written now, I feel like I've tried to take that stride to be even better, try to make it like, better or more accessible to other people, so people can also see it without dropping my main point to get across, you know. Because like with Shango, I feel like it's all about writing African stories and sharing those stories, because we see a lot of how would I say this? It's difficult to say. I don't understand how to say this. You see characters of different mythologies being represented, yeah. So you see your Thors, your Supermans, your Batmans, and not Spider-Mans, because we got Miles Morales. I've been screaming Miles Morales from day dot. Like, back in 2014, I've been collecting these comics. And now that we've got into the Spider-Verse, we get that little bit of diversity, so we get that. But I feel like it's been a lot of European or Anglo-Saxon culture that's been not Anglo-Saxon, but you know what I mean, European culture that's been heavily represented in the media, and that's good. But I want more representation, because I find it hard to like associate myself with a lot of these characters. I get the message of them, but it's the actual character, who they are in the end, you know. Because like when it comes to superheroes, I feel like when you have that association, that strong association and bond, where it's like, oh yeah, this character, like, oh, look at Miles Morales, he's a black kid, he likes music, he's got a kid with swagger, you know, that you got that vibe, you're like, yeah, this is something I can associate with. But when you see Peter Parker, like, I'm black, I am a nerd, like, so I get those little tendencies, but I don't get pushed in lockers or stuff like that. That's a bit weird. That's a bit left. But I guess that's a different culture, you know. That's a different vibe. But we can't deny that. So with Shango, it's like, yeah, let's push out more stories. And the thing is, it's like, I don't try to just want it to be only Shango alone, or only Yoruba culture alone. The idea is where I want it to eventually spread across the whole of Africa, and have it being shared with people, you know, so people can see, oh, that story's been shared, oh, my representation's been shared in this story in some sort of way. And the thing is with stories, that's the beautiful thing, you can always have it changed into a certain way where it's relevant, or where people can understand what the message behind the stories were, you know. But yeah, I think pretty much that was that for Shango. And there's like these things I've been trying to do, you know, not apart from Shango's. Like 2020, I was trying to do a lot of things like for myself, more independent stuff, you know. Like I was even making a bucket list now that I'm planning now. Thinking about going to the movies alone, having meals alone, experiencing my own time, and finding like my own peace, and finding who I am as a person, you know. Because I've always thought like, oh, who goes to the movies alone? That's a bit weird. I'm like, then I think about, it's like, there's movies I want to see but nobody else wants to see, so I'ma just do it. It's like, why should I be held back by people? Why should I say, oh yeah, why should society say, yeah, you have to go to the movies with people? That's weird. Like, or going to the movies by yourself is weird, or having a dinner by yourself is weird. No, it's good. It's good to have time by yourself. It's good. It's good, you know, but it's always good to have time by yourself. Sorry that I drift off every now and then. That's probably going to be one of the key problems in this podcast. I do drift off. It's a bit, I get lost in my own thoughts, and I think about different things, like so many, like, I don't know. See, even as a creative, you can see this podcast is just a bunch of me rambling. There's no key points. There's nothing going on. I'm just talking, which is essentially what a podcast is. I'm talking to people. But with and I was thinking, like, with lockdown, to be honest, is like there's other things apart from working you can do. It's like since I didn't have a lot of work, I spent a lot of time with my family, obviously, because I had nowhere to go. So I've gotten to spend, like, the bond with my sisters I've shared, it's a lot stronger, and I feel like you always have that potential to like repair your family if it's possible. And I like, it's always good to have family. A bit sappy to say. I just wanted to throw that in there. It's just something that was on my mind. I feel like something I wanted to say. But yeah, I guess this is it. It's just a 15-minute intro, I guess, to my first podcast. Don't think I can do an hour. Don't think I can. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your day.
Blessings overflow and manifest into greatness. Blessings overflow and manifest into greatness. Only positive vibes, yeah. Only positive vibes.